Welcome to episode 19 of Highly Caffeinated. I hope you all are up and ready. Have your Java for the morning or whatever it is, maybe your beverage of choice. But I want to jump in and I just really want to tell you, I woke up this morning, I was like, I really have no desire to do this. But when you commit and you say you're going to be here, no matter what it is, you're going to be here. So then I kind of completely changed and took a left turn and said, what will I talk about today? Excuse me. So if you've followed anything that I've done, you know that since about June of last year, I wake up each day and I start with a minimum of 10 minutes of personal development. And I tend to be in the car quite a bit, so I listen to tons of podcasts, audiobooks, and I listened to Bob Heilig last week, and I really like his podcast. And what he talked about was keys to staying motivated. And one of the things he said that resonated with me is commitment is when you stay the course, even when the mood fades. So perhaps today the mood faded. I don't know why. You know, the weekends aren't necessarily off when you own your own business. It's all the time. Your brain never stops. You're always thinking, how can you connect with your customer, your client, which we call champions? How do you build new relationships? How do you make sure that people know that you care so they continue? So commitment is when you stay the course, even when the mood fades. So I want to be here. I want to plug in each Monday. A couple Mondays from now, I'll actually be coming to you from Washington, D.C., but I'm still going to get up, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to kick ass every day. So a few things that the podcast mentioned were the number one thing when your commitment starts to fade it's your mindset. You have to believe you can do it. You have to want to do it. Your why has to be so freaking big that no matter what it is that's telling you not to show up, that you're going to do it. That you've got to take emotion out of it. Where do you want to be, and how will you get there? The greatest athletes in the world take their emotions out of it when they wake up before the sun comes up and they meet their trainer, or they hit the breakfast table, or they do their meditation, or whatever it is. What is your mindset? Where are you? Can you block out all the noise? What is the noise that's going to steer you right or left that'll keep you from being committed to your goals? And if those goals don't challenge you and they don't scare you, you know what? They're not big enough. Your goals should scare the crud out of you, but you're going to work hard at it. And the 5 keys to success that I have all the time, I say that goal-oriented people find ways. And so be committed and have that mindset. The second thing that he said in the podcast was to recognize your own greatness. Look, you have it within you to do whatever it is you want to do. If you are a 9-to-5er and you're happy about it, do it. Prosper where you're planted. But recognize that you have it, you were gifted it at birth, that you have greatness within you. So seek that greatness and share that greatness with others. Refine your goals, he says. So make sure they're as specific as possible. If you have a financial goal, you need to know how many people you need to sell to, how many contacts you need to have in order to reach that. If you have a weight loss goal, how do you do it? What are you going to do each day to move that forward? So what are you going to eat? What are you going to drink? How are you going to exercise? What is your goal? Make it as specific as possible. An acronym that's out there all the time that we use is SMART. Specific, measurable, attainable, reliable, and timely. The more refined those goals are, the more likely you are to reach them. How will you lose 10 pounds in 4 weeks or 6 weeks? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to change? And perhaps what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get there? How badly do you want it? And remember, a goal without a deadline is just a wish. Change your focus. You want to refine your focus. It needs to be streamlined. How do you want to get there? Keep that commitment. That's the only thing you're looking at each and every day is that focus. Wake up, see it, write on a piece of paper, put it on your computer, put it on your dashboard, put it on a mirror, put it on the refrigerator, put it where you're going to see it all the time. And don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for motivation. If you want it, go do it now. Fail with grace. Look, you're going to make mistakes along the way, so what? You're going to get up, and you're going to get up, and you're going to get up, and you're going to get up again. So don't wait for the motivation to strike. You've got to do it when the motivation wanes too. Because remember, back to the beginning, commitment is when you stay the course even when the mood fades. So don't wait for the motivation. accountability. This one I feel is huge. This is ultimately what I feel that I do and Dane Boa Fitness does, is we provide the accountability for people. So it's awesome when you have a partner, right? An exercise partner. I use, any personal development book, by the way, that you ever read will mention fitness. So I'm going to use that too. So you may have an accountability partner, but is he or she going to show up when it's rainy, when it's cold, when the kids are sick, when they have to go in early for work, when there's trouble with their finances, or they just don't freaking feel like getting up before the sun comes up? But if you have a professional that's dedicated and does his or her job properly, you know what? They're going to show up. They're going to arrive on time. They're going to be there. And when you don't show up, they're going to call you, text you, message you, and ask you, number one, are you okay? Number two, what prevented you from being there? And how can we prevent that from happening again? That's your accountability partner. That's the value that comes in paying some extra money in order to have that human being, that person that knows that it's about you. They may have other clients or customers, but at the moment, it's about you. Some stories now. As Dane Boa Fitness grows, we know that we're going to have highs and lows. And what we do is so much more than sweat on the floor. So when we use all 7 elements of health and wellness, which are emotional, environmental, intellectual, occupational, physical, social, and spiritual health, we know that people aren't always going to walk into the studio. People aren't always going to plug in on our online groups. So we message them. We have a few people that are dealing with death right now, which obviously is a major curveball, right? And it's easy to delve into poor eating habits or alcohol or drugs or whatever it is. But when you have an accountability partner who's going to reach out and say, let's just talk on the phone. Let's do FaceTime. Let's do video chat. What do you need so that you can be successful? When you travel from your home to where you're going to go to the funeral, how are you going to make sure that you fuel your body? How are you going to make sure that you're energized, that you just don't fall apart, so that you can feel control, especially after death when there is no control, or at the moment you feel there is no control? Other ones are dealing with, rather family issues. It's just part of life. Part of what we want to do is ensure that when you hit a trough, when you hit that low mark, we get you out as fast as possible. But we meet you where you are, we love you where you are, and we get you there. We get you back to the highs and lows. And any of us that have a few wrinkles or been around or been knocked down a few times, we know that life will not always be perfect. And that's the beauty of what we try to do, is we get you through. When you sign up, when you join in, you're happy and you're ready to go. But along the way, there's going to be a low time. We're going to get you out of that back to the high time. We're going to high-five you again. Another thing that he talks about in staying committed is celebrate the small wins. So perhaps your pocketbook isn't as big as you'd like it to be for the week. Really, I stumbled on that. So maybe you didn't, again, I don't know, maybe you missed this and that, but celebrate the small wins. Did you make the phone calls? Did you connect with X number of people? Did you make somebody smile? Did you high five? If you're losing weight, did you lose half a pound? And if you didn't lose a half a pound, did you show up every day? Are you continuing to trust the process? When you celebrate the small wins in health and wellness, we call it non-scale victories. So are you feeling stronger, more motivated, more energized, and more focused? So don't forget to celebrate along the way. Yes, we have the big goal that I told you is way up here that is super scary, and each day you're not sure you're going to achieve it, but it's those small incremental pieces along the way that get you there. Celebrate them, enjoy them, tell somebody about them. And you want to focus on the activity, not the results. That's just another way of saying trust the progress. I love that. Focus on the activity, not the results. By showing up today, by plugging in today, by reading today, by eating the right thing today, by surrounding yourself with the right people today, you can focus on the activity and the results will come. I believe we tend to shut them off way too early. There's a TED Talk that I refer to quite a bit. And in the TED Talk, the guy says, he gets on his phone and he says, patience. And he gets, 500 million hits in 0.48 seconds, like not fast enough. That is the society we live in today. I'm sitting here in my office and I've got my notes on my phone, I've got the computer, I've got my coffee, I could go on my smart TV and I could watch something instantaneously. I don't have to wait, I don't have to think about it, but this hasn't caught up to that. This hasn't caught up to that. So focus on the activity, not the results. Take it one day at a time. And that's really the biggest piece that I try to instill in people, is that when you're going someplace, just know you've got to get up or wake up, show up, and kick ass and stay focused every day. You have to stay committed even when the mood doesn't strike you. And I told you at the beginning, I just wasn't feeling it today. I was like, I don't know, I've got stuff to do. I'm in the middle of having multiple conversations this morning, and I've got groups coming in all morning, and I have new phone calls to make this afternoon. I would have liked to have slept in a little bit. I'm in a new research study, which is kind of exciting and cool, but my coffee cup actually doesn't have any coffee in it because I can't have caffeine for 30 days. I can do decaf 3 times a week, so I'm going to do Saturdays and Sundays when I've got a little bit more time, and then maybe in the middle of the week. But you know what I noticed after not having it now for 5 or 6 days, since a week ago, so 7 days, is I truly appreciated the flavor and the taste of the coffee yesterday morning. And I savored it, and I sipped it, and it was great. So overindulgence isn't the way. Savor the good times. Savor what you can. So again, I'm going to reiterate how to stay committed. Commitment is when you stay the course even when the mood fades. Good morning, Tracy. It starts with mindset. You have to believe you can do it. You have to want to do it. I put up a picture yesterday with me with my morning shake and my keys and my backpack. And I said, strength comes when you believe you can, when your hands are full. Recognize that you have greatness within you. You already have it. You have to believe you have it. Don't ever forget it, even when you doubt it. Get up, look in the mirror and say, I have greatness within me. I can move mountains, and I will move mountains, and I will surround myself with people who can do the same. Refine your goals. Make them as specific as possible. What are they? Get them down. This is where the minutia is important. The more refined those goals are, the more opportunity you'll have to succeed and achieve them. Refine your focus. Streamline it. Where do you want to go, and don't let anybody push you down. Find that why that you will crash through walls, climb over walls, and do whatever it takes and fight, kick, and scream to get there. Don't wait for the motivation. If you wait, you'll never have it. Why wait till Monday? Why wait till January 1st? Why wait till your birthday? Who knows? The motivation has to be within you every day, and don't wait for that motivation. Find an accountability partner. This is where investing your hard-earned cash is important, because if you have a professional accountability partner, they will make sure they hold you to the fire. That if you don't show up, they're going to ask you why you didn't show up. They're going to, what barrier did prevented you from being there? Let's make sure we prevent that from happening again. Again, I think it's great when you have your husband, your wife, your kids, a best friend as your accountability partner. But oftentimes, they're not going to be there when it's cold, when it's hot, when they're tired, when they're exhausted, and when they get called into work. But the professional, if they're worth their salt, they're going to be there each and every day. Each and every day. Celebrate the small wins. How many people did you talk to today? What did you do to move your goal forward? Did you make a better choice? Did you get enough sleep? What is it? You know, if it's weight loss, is your belt a little looser, your pants a little looser? But even if they're not, the small wins are, did you do your meal prep? Did you prepare, plan, and execute your week for success? Professionally, did you prepare, plan, and execute your day so you can knock the biggest thing off your list when you walk into the office this morning? Be sure to celebrate the small wins. It's the small pieces of change that reach to those big goals. Celebrate those small wins each and every day. Every week I ask my champions, what was your biggest win of the week? To celebrate those small wins. And then what is their biggest goal for this week? So again, we may have long-term goals, and we're in a lose a ton challenge now that's 90 days long. We're about 4 weeks in, okay? And it's easy to lose steam, but we'll celebrate those small wins. We'll stay focused. Our community is accountable. We're not going to wait for motivation, and our commitment is stay the course even when the mood fades. So again, in that process, in any process, trust the process and focus on the activity, not the results. So please turn on the subscribe button so when I pop in every Monday, and every now and then I'll pop in randomly, I'd love to share more with you. If you have questions, comments, and concerns, or topics you want to talk about it, let's talk. So, you know, this is my personal page, but what we do at Dane Bowl Fitness is, it's right here. It's who I am, right? So that's why when we use all 7 elements of health and wellness, we can talk about everything. I believe that when we just focus on the physical part without worrying about heart, mind, and soul, we're just missing most of the features of the product for long-term success. Long-term success comes in when you have quality emotional health, environmental health, intellectual health, occupational, physical, social, and spiritual health. If you'll notice in the E squared, IOP squared, which is what we call those 7 elements, that physical is in the middle. And I believe it's what you do in the middle, in the emotional and spiritual health, that will make you happy. So get up, get out, get moving. Remember, life is about what we create and who we create it with who we create it with. So celebrate those small wins. Have a fantastic Monday. Cheers. See you next week. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining me.